Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon, an ABC 7 exclusive. The man accused of killing 2 Longboat Key hotel employees is said to be brain dead. When Daryl Hannah Jr. was not in court this morning for a mandatory appearance, ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick got some answers. She joins us now with the latest. Jess?
Scott, the victim's loved ones met with the assistant state attorney today asking for answers. The state telling them that Hannah had some medical issues while in jail and is now in a vegetative state. Hannah is accused of shooting and killing 2 employees at the Zota Beach Resort on Longboat Key back in August. The family says that a prison guard found Hannah on the floor of his jail cell just before Hurricane Irma hit. They were told that Hannah had a blood clot that broke loose and traveled to his brain. The family says that Hannah can breathe on his own, that he just has no upper brain function. Hannah is still alive and in state custody. He is in the medical wing of the Manatee County Jail. Now, both families of the Zota killing victims, Timothy Hurley and Kevin Carter, say they are heartbroken that Hannah could not be brought to justice.
It's not justice what we wanted. It's not, you know, the people who's hurting most from him, his incident, is his family, not him.
They're just going to keep an eye on him, take care of him, keep him alive, and wait and see while we sit and suffer.
As for what's next, a case management hearing is being rescheduled for February. The family says they were told that when that next hearing comes, they'll analyze Hannah's brain activity and go from there. Scott.
All right, Jess, thank you so much. The iconic Anna Maria Island Pier will be torn down and then rebuilt after being damaged during Hurricane Irma. When the storm blew through in September, it caused extensive damage to the pier. After assessing that damage, city officials determined the pier, bait shop, and restaurant would be closed for at least a year. Now, city commissioners have voted to just tear it down and rebuild it. The pier was built back in 1911, but according to city officials, its lifespan only had about 5 years remaining. The new pier is projected to cost between $3 to $4 million, which will extend the pier's life by about 75 to 100 years. Officials hope to open that new pier by 2019. Hurricane Irma helping dig up the past in parts of southwest Florida. Archaeologists are discovering ancient artifacts found near uprooted trees on Marco Island. This is all happening at the Otter Mound Preserve, which has been closed since the storm hit more than a month ago. Historic pieces from the Calusa tribe dating back thousands of years, revealing themselves to the world for the first time in ages. State archaeologists are surveying the historic Otter Mound site.
You can go down and pick up an artifact and someone else held that same artifact and made it centuries ago, right in the same spot that you're standing. It's a pretty unique feeling.
It's sad to see, you know, something that's been here for hundreds or thousands of years be damaged by a storm.
But it also presents a unique opportunity for us to work on such an interesting site like Otter Mound.
Archaeologists say their goal is to keep most of the artifacts on site once they're tagged and logged, but some will go to the Marco Island History Museum to serve as a lesson on those who occupied Collier County long ago. The state's new budget may help Florida's citrus industry recover from the hurricane. Losses to the industry are estimated at more than $700 million. The Florida Citrus Commission recently approved a $17 million budget that includes an increase in imports that will help cover crops lost during the storm. Citrus officials say this budget will help Florida products recapture the market. A new disaster recovery center is now open in Sarasota to help storm victims apply for disaster assistance and get some answers to their recovery questions. That center will be open today through Sunday at the Robert L. Taylor Community Center. The hours vary today through Saturday. It'll be open from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. through Saturday, and then on Sunday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Also happening today, Nate's Honor Animal Rescue in Bradenton will take in 24 dogs and cats that were displaced by Hurricane Maria. The animal shelter is working in conjunction with the SPCA wings in order with other Florida shelters. These new animals will be put up for adoption soon once they arrive at the facility. Nate's expects to welcome those animals to the Suncoast around 5 o'clock this afternoon, and I'm sure it won't be long before they find some good forever homes here on the Suncoast. That'd be more now on our weather with meteorologist John Scalzi. John, just another gorgeous, beautiful day, although a little chilly start to our day, huh?
Yeah, 57
felt that
degrees.
in a while.
I know. Well, I actually looked it up. 109, I think it was 196 days since we had a temperature that was in the 50s. That's that cold. So, you know, 57 degrees. And we had some reports. Becky Omayaka phones in every morning, has for 20 years now, and she had 47.
Is that right?
47 degrees, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So there were some chilly temperatures around. I think tonight will probably be a little bit warmer. Let's go to the maps. There you go, KCK webcam, looking at some pretty quiet conditions out there. And a lot of blue sky, and that's the case this afternoon. You notice the surf's up a little bit and those trees are shimmering. That's because the winds have been elevated. Temperatures right now starting to rebound just a little bit. We're looking at 66 degrees, 67 degrees in most locations, and Titan radar dry as a bone as it will be. We're running around 2 degrees below where we were 24 hours ago at this hour. This morning we were about 11 degrees cooler. You know what? I think as we end up the day today, we'll probably be plus 2, maybe 3 degrees warmer than we were 24 hours ago, just because the winds are going to relax a little bit. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few. Scott.
All right, John, thank you. New airport security measures are going into effect today for every flight that comes into the United States from another country. Airlines are urging travelers now to arrive at least 3 hours early for a foreign flight heading into the U.S. ABC's Lana Zach shows us what's involved in this enhanced screening.
No matter where you're coming from, if you're headed to the U.S., expect more security at the airport. The TSA is demanding that all airlines employ enhanced passenger screening. And while it applies to every flight, it may differ from airline to airline. For most, it will mean new security questions like where are you traveling and who packed your bag. It was ordered by the U.S. government 3 months ago.
Unless we all raise our security standards, terrorists who see commercial aviation as the greatest takedown will find and attack the weakest link.
Every day, 325,000 passengers board 2,100 direct flights to the U.S. from 280 different airports. At Paris's Orly Airport today, most passengers said the procedure was relatively painless.
Oh, they asked me about if we have stuff for other people. You know, they didn't ask that. Everything is ours.
I've well appreciated this new safety, I would say, process. If you have the project to strengthen this safety disposal process, I am fully in favor of it, yeah?
Travelers on some airlines may find that they receive questionnaires or additional screening of their electronic devices. And remember, these new rules are taking place for all international travelers headed to the United States, whether they're foreign visitors or U.S. citizens. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
Florida Governor Rick Scott is hitting the airwaves with a campaign-styled ad that talks about taxes and Hurricane Irma. Scott's political committee releasing a 30-second ad yesterday. Politico reports the committee is expected to spend nearly $2 million on the ad. Scott will finish his time as governor next year due to term limits, and he's expected to challenge incumbent U.S. Senator Bill Nelson in 2018, but he has not officially announced he's a candidate just yet. Longboat Keys, the resort, is receiving some international recognition. Condé Nast Traveler magazine naming the resort as the 5th best Florida hotel in their Reader's Choice Awards. The resort was up against some stiff competition. More than 7,000 other resorts were up for consideration. The resort was also ranked as one of the best marinas in the nation by Power and Motor Yacht magazine. Still to come on your Suncoast News, with an announcement coming soon on the opioid crisis, how the president's health emergency may impact the problem. And a South Florida 10-year-old is the latest victim of the opioid epidemic. Those stories coming up next.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
68-degree the air temperature. Now that's pretty comfortable, absolutely. However, look at the dew point, 35 degrees. That's what you see in winter, some days in winter, 35-degree dew points. That just feels so comfortable and crisp and nice. Now, some people, if they're heating that air, as they may do tomorrow morning, may actually, with those low dew points, feel like it's a little too dry. That's how low that humidity is right now. Northeast wind comes in at about 12, not quite as brisk as it was 24 hours ago, but still kind of breezy out there and still puts a little bit of an edge, I suppose, on the air for some folks out there who might still want to have that light sweater on. But there's plenty of sunshine around, and with those slightly calmer winds, we'll see the temperatures start to rise to a little bit warmer than they were 24 hours ago. 69 degrees Arcadia, 67 Wauchula. Mayaca City comes in at 67 degrees. We have many places this morning reporting in with temperatures that were in the upper 40s, especially in inland areas, and low 50s as well. One of our weather watchers in Parrish phoned in with a 53-degree air temperature. 68 degrees in Bradenton, Sarasota the same, Venice coming in at 68. So this very dry air, this very low dew point air has filtered southward on this brisk north wind. Clear skies at night, calmer winds at night. All of those things together add up to a recipe for some chillier temperatures. Well, things are going to change. They're going to change starting as early as tomorrow because the high pressure ridge, which now sits over us and provides us with the slightly slower wind speeds, we're not getting those 30-mile-an-hour gusts. I guess it's more than slightly, significantly less wind speed. That will start to change because now we won't be getting that northerly wind anymore, but the high pressure ridge moving out into the Atlantic will provide us with a more of an easterly wind flow. And we'll start to see the winds out of the east transport some of that Atlantic moisture across the peninsula. Now, when you moisten up the atmosphere, you keep the nighttime temperatures a little bit warmer, and you keep the daytime temperatures feeling a little bit warmer, especially with an east wind. That's a warmer wind for us than a north wind. So all in all, we'll see our temperatures returning to something that will be more normal for this time of year. We're running below average right now, obviously. Tomorrow we'll be in the 80s, which will be more average. Now, over the weekend, a frontal boundary back to the west will approach us. That frontal boundary, as it approaches, will tap into some moisture coming up out of the Caribbean and provide us with the potential of some weekend rainfall. Some of it could be pretty heavy in South Florida, and there's a potential that we could get some periods of some heavier rainfall either, even though the heaviest of the rain will definitely be falling from, say, Miami southward, where they could be measuring rainfall amounts in the inches. We probably won't get that wet. but it's all associated with an area of low pressure down to the south that the Hurricane Center is watching. And the exact location of where that drifts to will give us a big difference in how much rainfall we experience across the state of Florida, depending on your location. Winds fairly quiet today. They're going to surge again. They're going to surge again tonight, coming in at about 15 or so, a little bit later this evening and through tomorrow morning. And then they'll relax once again as we start to get more of that easterly flow. So watch for that. Boaters, particularly east wind, coming in at about 15 a little bit later on. Moderate chop on bay and inland waters. So there's the scenario. A couple of warmer days starting tomorrow. A chance of rain showers, good chance on Saturday. Clearing out on Sunday as that front whisks through and brings us another shot of cooler, drier air just in time for the start of the next work week. Scott?
All right, John, thank you so much. President Trump is expected to declare the opioid crisis a national emergency today. Once declared, state officials will have better access to resources to combat the epidemic. Public health emergencies are rarely declared on a national level, and now blame is being placed on the big pharmaceutical companies.
Everyone should have known that these were addictive drugs, but doctors were duped. They were told that there was less than 1% chance of getting addicted as long as you were under a doctor's care.
CDC reports more than 22,000 people died nationwide from prescription opioids in 2015. That was an increase from about 19,000 deaths from the year before. An autopsy has confirmed a 10-year-old South Florida boy is among the state's youngest victims of the opioid crisis. Alton Banks died with fentanyl and heroin in his system. It's not clear how the deadly opioids entered his system. Heroin mixed with fentanyl is a common street drug combination. Miami police say Banks apparently encountered the drug during a 1-hour period after he left a pool in the Overtown neighborhood and then got home. No one has been charged yet in his death. A group of high school students in Massachusetts are taking part in an anti-tobacco effort. The teens gave lawmakers 21 reasons why they feel 21-year-olds should be the minimum age to buy tobacco products. These students say big tobacco companies try to target teens, and they believe raising the age limit may prevent some from getting hooked.
The bottom line is, that people are dying, young people are starting this earlier and earlier in their lives. Big tobacco companies are targeting younger audiences through candy-flavored products. We need to take a stand.
Critics of this movement say if a person can vote at the age of 18, he or she can decide if they want to buy a tobacco product. The state's Public Health Committee is now reviewing that bill. A sheriff's office in West Virginia is offering to X-ray Halloween candy to help ease some parents' worries. Hancock County deputies have been scanning candy for 4 years now. The machines can detect screws, razors, or anything else that may be suspicious. Doesn't even require the candy to leave the trick-or-treat bags. Officers said every scan has come up clean since they first began X-raying candy, which is nice to hear. Time now to head over to our kitchen, where we're glad to welcome Adam Stone Kane. He is the beverage director at Libby's Cafe and Bar. Adam, great to have you with us today. What are you creating for us?
Today we'll be showing you 2 of our most popular cocktails that are on Libby's Cafe and Bar beverage menu right now. First one will be the LCB Signature Old Fashioned, made with a brown butter bourbon. And the next one will be the 3-Day Weekend, which is a good, fun weekend drink.
All right, Adam, thanks.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com, AndServices.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
A lot of kids love baseball, dream of going to the World Series. But for one little boy's expression of that passion actually earned him tickets to the big game. Joe Kwan shows us what he did.
I love the Dodgers so much, and it's just the dream come true that I won these tickets to go to the World Series.
Fifth grader Alejandro Herrera won a ticket for himself and his sister thanks to an essay he wrote. He read it Wednesday morning to his classmates at Christopher Dina Elementary.
I am a Dodger fan because baseball runs through my family.
The school held an essay contest to pick a winner after former student Ricardo Puentes donated the tickets.
Puentes attended this school when it was called Dakota Elementary School back in 1988 when the Dodgers won the World Series.
It was the first school Puentes went to in the U.S. after coming here from Mexico. He was at the school for only 71 days.
Very home feel about being in this school that I didn't feel like I was in an entirely different country.
A feeling he never forgot, and nearly 3 decades later, an opportunity to say thank you by fulfilling a boy's baseball dreams. A teacher recorded the moment Tuesday when Alejandro found out he was the big winner.
It's honestly, that moment right there when I saw him stand up and put his hand over his face, like that made it worth it for me.
There's not even words to describe how happy I am to go.
Pre-game excitement the 10-year-old could hardly contain, a feeling shared by Puentes.
Oh my God, I'm excited to be there with him and see the excitement in his face.
Go Dodgers!
All right, let's get back to the kitchen now and check in there with John, who is with Adam Stone King from Libby's Cafe and Bar. Guys?
Adam, absolute pleasure to have you here, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Your first time in our kitchen.
The first time.
Well, you are welcome here.
Cocktails for lunch?
That sounds great to me. So you're cooking up a signature Libby's cocktail, and we love Libby's Bar. Is it available on all the Libby's properties or only in particular ones?
These two drinks specifically are on Libby's cocktail menu.
Across the board?
Yep,
okay.
every day.
Great. So let's start with the first one. What are you making
The
up?
first one we're going to do, so this is just kind of a twist on an old fashioned.
Okay.
So we've decided to put this.
Classic cocktail.
Yeah, so old fashions are never going to go out of style. This is our version. We serve a lot of them at the restaurant, so we just figured why not, put it on the menu, make it something special. So what we do is what makes us different is this bourbon that we use, we infuse it with a brown butter.
Whoa. So you do that yourselves?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do
Cool.
it. I do it myself.
Nice.
So take the brown butter that's made in the kitchen, infuse it into the bourbon, let it sit at room temperature for 2 to 3 hours. Then you put it in the freezer. The fat will float to the top. And the next day, that is taken off and strained, and then we put it back in the original bottles.
Wow.
For service.
I bet that really imparts a gorgeous flavor.
It literally,
right?
it smells like buttered popcorn. Is what it really does smell like that. So with the addition of a couple things. So we'll go ahead and
let's do that.
We'll start to make this. So this drink we build in a mixing glass.
Is there really a difference when, James Bond says shaken, not stirred? Does it matter really?
Yeah, there really is, absolutely, because you're dealing with how much you want to dilute the drink. So the first thing is just a couple dashes of chocolate bitters.
Chocolate bitters?
Chocolate bitters.
Nice.
So there's a lot
With
of
the butter?
different things going on right now.
I'm sold.
Second thing is a vanilla bean simple syrup.
Nice.
Okay, so with this, you want to go light-handed. I mean, we're literally just putting like a 1/4 ounce. We're not trying to sweeten the drink so much as just to take the edge off a little bit. Okay. The next is an apricot liqueur. So this is 1/2 ounce. And again, like we're not trying to get in the way of the bourbon so much, just adding, a little bit of flavor to it.
This really is your own twist on it.
It is. It is. This one's this is 2.5 ounces. Okay, so you got a full 3 ounces in the drink.
So it's not a stingy drink.
No, not at all. I mean, like I said, it's a bourbon drink. So when people kind of read the menu, sometimes they see all the descriptors, the chocolate and vanilla, apricot. They think it might be a little different than what it is, but it's still an old fashioned. I mean, it is a bourbon drink. So this will just stir for 8 to 10 seconds just to chill it down. We've already put the ice cube in a
Beautiful
glass.
looking ice cube there too, I gotta tell you, that's gorgeous.
Like I said, put a lot of work into that one yesterday. So from there, you just simply strain the drink over the ice.
And garnish it with what?
This has got, we've been playing around with these at the restaurant. This is the garnish we're gonna do. So I take, dehydrate some oranges overnight. So you're left with this nice like dried orange chip. And that just goes on top.
right on top.
That is it.
Oh, so let's just put that one aside for later. And let's go on to the next one. What you got for us here?
Go over here? So same thing here. This is called the 3-day weekend. This one is more of a modern twist on a drink. So you got your kind of iconic old drink there. I do need, let me get some ice really quick. So this one, like I said, is a bit more modern. We use same thing again in a coupe. We use the big ice cube, and you'll see, so that just helps with keeping the drink chilled, as opposed to not having it watered down so much. So we'll start with a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. Okay.
Got about 1 minute left.
1 minute. Let's move. 1/2 ounce of cinnamon simple syrup.
Ooh, cinnamon.
Okay.
Nice.
You got 1 ounce of pineapple juice. And 1.5 ounces of, this is Sky grapefruit vodka.
Grapefruit.
Okay. All right.
So we got the
this one gets shaken.
Cinnamon.
So this one we shake. This is all going to get strained over the ice cube.
There seems to be a resurgence in the classic cocktails and the more inventive cocktails these
absolutely.
days.
So 2 last things for this. This is vanilla extract. This is just purely for aroma.
Don't you love that?
Yeah, just for aroma.
Awesome.
Not so much for flavor, and then fresh grated nutmeg.
Nice.
So this just goes over the top.
Wow.
So that's it.
Oh, you can smell it. Oh, that smells really fantastic.
Yeah. So 2 very popular drinks.
Beautiful, beautiful drinks. I mean, they're just gorgeous. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing that with us.
My pleasure.
Lovely flavors available at Libby's and very seasonable too, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
You're
nice meeting you.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $239 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Do you need a good laugh? Starting November 1st at the Player Center, everything that can go wrong does go wrong in the smash hit comedy Moon Over Buffalo. This wild Broadway series production shows what happens both on stage and off. Contact the Players at 365-2494 or at theplayers.org. The show must go on with Moon Over Buffalo.
If you're looking for a rewarding job you'll love, good news. The perfect job is just a click away. Go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day. It's that easy. Stop searching and go to mysuncoast.com/job of the day to find the perfect job for you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice: choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Actress Ashley Judd, an early accuser of the now disgraced Harvey Weinstein, sat down with ABC's Diane Sawyer and described an incident 2 decades prior with the producer. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more.
For the first time since accusing movie mogul Harvey Weinstein of sexual harassment.
I didn't expect that I would feel tearful, but it's
Actress Ashley Judd speaks exclusively with ABC's Diane Sawyer, reliving the day in her late 20s when she says she showed up for a business appointment with Weinstein and was directed up to his hotel room.
I was like, ugh, are you kidding me?
Of the more than 60 women who have come forward, many describe a similar pattern. Weinstein offering a massage, promising to help make their career, suggesting one or both of them get naked.
And I fought with this volley of no's, which he ignored. Who knows, maybe he heard them as maybe he heard them as yeses, maybe they turned him on.
Judd says she was hesitant to come forward, afraid no one would believe her and the other women, or no one would care. Weinstein rejects all accusations and has given a statement to the New York Times and others saying he did not retaliate against anyone and that any sex was always consensual. He also shows a photo of himself with Judd at the time of her accusations, saying it proves the two were friends. Judd says that's ridiculous.
No, that's deny, attack, reverse the order of offender and victim.
But when asked what she would say to Weinstein today,
I love you and I understand that you are sick and suffering, and there is help for a guy like you too, and it's entirely up to you to get that help.
Judd also says that we're now living in a moment where as a society we could create real change, but it's going to take both men and women. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
The House has narrowly passed a $4 trillion budget that clears a key hurdle toward President Trump's goal of cutting taxes. The 216 to 212 vote allows Republicans now to begin work on a $1.5 trillion tax cut and move it through Congress without fear of blocking tactics by Democrats. The tax bill is a top item on the GOP agenda and would be the president's first major win in Congress. GOP leaders overcame opposition from House conservatives unhappy about the deficits and debt, and lawmakers from high-tax states such as New York and New Jersey who are upset about plans to curb the state and local tax deduction. The Senate passed the measure last week, and the House endorsed it without changes to move quickly to the tax measure. Vice President Pence is going to the Middle East in December. Pence making the announcement during a Defense of Christians summit. Following the president's own trip to the region, this will mark Pence's first trip there. So far, no details have been released about the trip or what countries he'll visit. The U.S. government's full account of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy is expected to be released later today. President Trump tweeting the classified documents will be made public. The White House did not say if all the documents will be released or if some will remain sealed. Kennedy's assassination nearly 54 years ago sparked a flurry of conspiracy theories. Today's deadline was set back in 1992 by a law that, after Oliver Stone's movie called JFK, sparked a new round of fervor over Kennedy's killing. Historians who have closely studied the assassination do not expect the documents to reveal any new bombshells. They also don't believe the report will contradict the conclusion that Lee Harvey Oswald was solely responsible. California crews are going through the areas damaged by wildfires, and they're clearing all hazardous materials left behind. Environmental officials, along with California Department of Toxic Substance Control, are working now to keep everything contained. Items that are not hazardous are marked with white, those that are painted pink. And properties where asbestos is present are taped off. The hazardous waste will be taken out of the state. Some will be recycled, the rest will be burned. The cleanup is free for residents and will take about 3 weeks to complete. Let's get more on our glorious weather on this Thursday afternoon. Meteorologist John Scalzi is back, and I just love this. After a long hot summer with high humidity, this is pretty nice.
And the nice thing is, we're going to have a kind of a continued spell of this.
Yeah.
One little interruption, but a continued spell of this beautiful, lovely weather.
Awesome.
Now, I know, I'm in. I'm going to put the Casey Key webcam into action here, and I want you to watch the surf as I do. You'll notice how it's kind of elevated a little bit. Now, that elevated surf, with you can see some of the breaking whitecaps offshore there, an indication of the high rip current risk that we have along our area beaches today because of that wave action. So just be careful. That'll linger through into the evening hours. The temperatures generally trying to rebound from the morning lows. About 10 degrees warmer than we started off with a 68-degree temperature in Sarasota, 68 in Venice, 67 in Wauchula. No rain in the forecast today. Obviously, just a lot of blue sky and daytime high temperatures in the mid-70s. Complete forecast coming up in just a few. Back to you, Scott.
Okay, John, thank you. The brother of the Las Vegas mass shooter, Bruce Paddock, is arrested for possession of child porn. The 58-year-old was arrested at his North Hollywood assisted living facility. Paddock reportedly had hundreds of explicit images and had swapped images with others. A bail hearing is set for a Honduran man charged with attempting to blow up a Miami area mall. Federal prosecutors say they'll oppose release on bail at Vicente Solano's hearing. Prosecutors say Solano should stay behind bars until trial because of him being a flight risk and danger to the community. The FBI says Solano plotted with an informant to bomb the food court at the Dolphin Mall. Solano was arrested last Friday after accepting a fake bomb from undercover FBI operatives. Tampa police are gathering all their resources amid fears of a serial killer is on the loose. 3 people have been fatally shot in less than 2 weeks in the Seminole Heights neighborhood. Police believe the killings are linked but don't have a motive and don't know exactly who they're looking for yet. Tampa's mayor and the interim police chief gave an update yesterday on the investigation.
We have been, as you know, saturating this neighborhood for the last 10 days with bodies, with men and women both in uniform as well as undercover. We, as you know, are dead serious about this. We intend to bring this guy to justice, and we intend to stay here as long as it takes.
This is not a neighborhood that has these type of crimes. This is not a neighborhood that doesn't cooperate with the police. So I don't think that is the issue. I think the issue is potentially somebody knows something, but they may not realize it.
Mayor Buckhorn telling officers, quote, "This guy is not going to win. Bring his head to me." Turns out Twitter's user base isn't as big as its tweets say it is. The social media network said today it has overstated its user numbers since 2014. Twitter says it mistakenly included a segment of users from third-party applications. Twitter now has 330 million users globally. Twitter also said it may be profitable in the upcoming fourth quarter for the first time in 4 years as a publicly traded company. And that news sent its stock soaring upwards by about 11% as trading opened on Wall Street. Just a reminder, if you want to stay up to date on the latest breaking and local news and see alerts sent to your phone, iPhone and iPad users will need to download our new news app. Just go to the App Store, search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Still to come in your Suncoast news, Regal Cinemas is trying to change the way you pay for movies. We'll tell you how coming up.
The Alfa Romeo Stelvio takes the modern compact luxury crossover and injects it with personality.
Every crossover should be this good to drive.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
wonder.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
I went in skeptical and came away impressed.
Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds, a segment best.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 68-degree air temperature, lots of sunshine out there, and very low relative humidity. 30% relative humidity. That's pretty nice. Feels pretty comfortable out there. Northeast winds still kind of breezy at about 12. We have 69 degrees in Bradenton, Parrish at 67, 68 in Myakka, Northport's at 70, Boca Grande at 69, Venice at 68, so is Wauchula and Arcadia at 69. We'll probably top it off today in the mid-70s. So here's what's going to happen over the next several days. Today's temperature, daytime high temperature, is going to be a few degrees warmer than yesterday's temperature of 73. And tomorrow will probably be in the 80s, once again, low 80s, because this ridge of high pressure is going to move out into the Atlantic, and as it does that, we'll start to see the winds begin to shift a little more easterly. That easterly wind will start to moisten up our atmosphere, and then we're going to watch an area of low pressure down to the south in the Caribbean, which is still, by the way, very disorganized, but nevertheless has some potential for some fairly rapid development as it lifts north out of this area where the land is interfering with any kind of development that this might undergo. So these are not organized showers and thunderstorms down here. They're not talking to each other, those thunderstorms. That could happen in about 24 hours. We'll watch it and see. But it'll have a very small window of time to get any kind of development going, because this frontal boundary is going to be approaching with its line of showers, and that's going to kind of tick up the upper level winds. So this system, as it develops, will eventually just be torn apart by those upper level winds of the frontal boundary approaching. Fair weather today, kind of fall-like, nice, low relative humidities. Warmer tomorrow as we moisten up the atmosphere and kind of set the stage for a few showers. And then weekend rain as that moisture from the south kind of overspreads the state of Florida, particularly South Florida, I think. What's going to happen is that this kind of cluster of showers lifts north, gets picked up by that frontal boundary as it approaches, and then whisked out into the Atlantic as it gets torn apart. So the chances of it really developing into anything significant are pretty low. But in any event, it could increase its shower and thunderstorm activity as it approaches South Florida and produce a couple of inches of rainfall down there. So we'll watch for that and keep you posted on its development and update you on our rainfall futurecast. But look, speaking of futurecast, let's put the futurecast into motion. Today, dry. Tomorrow, we start to notice a little increase in cloud cover and humidity. And then as these showers and thunderstorms lift north from Cuba and overspread the southern tip of the state, a frontal boundary approaches. All of that comes together Saturday night into Sunday morning, and that's when we have our best chance of rainfall. before the front moves through, cleans it all out, and then we're left with some pretty nice weather for the beginning of next work week. Quiet on radar right now. You look around the country, the Northeast still has some showers, but the rest of the country is pretty quiet. Forecast looking like this for today. That northeast wind at about 10 to 15, subsiding a bit, then picking up overnight. Remember, rip current issues on area beaches. Showers over the weekend, and then clearing next week. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. It's been a tough year for Hollywood and theater chains, so Regal Theaters is changing its ticket pricing system. Soon, tickets for popular films will be higher, but films with smaller budgets or financial failures will in turn cost less. The system will be implemented starting next year in larger markets. Analysts say this incentive would be transformative for the company if they can get customers to see just one more film than they usually do. Southwest Airlines reporting third quarter earnings of $503 million, which was better than expected on Wall Street, despite hurricanes creating travel havoc for thousands of Americans. The Dallas carrier's profit was 84 cents a share, which is a penny better than industry analysts had predicted. Numerous airline chains have reported similar earnings despite the increase in those storms. Legoland is coming to upstate New York. Parent company Merlin Entertainment saying the new theme park will open sometime in 2020. A Legoland spokesperson says construction is slated to begin soon. The park is expected to bring in between up to 2.5 million people to the area every year, as well as create hundreds of jobs. The park is also expected to generate more than $280 million in taxes for Orange County, New York in the next 30 years. Plenty of activities this weekend on the Suncoast, including the first ever age-friendly festival. ABC 7's Linda Carson has more in the spotlight.
The Patterson Foundation is making history Saturday at the Sarasota County Fairgrounds.
We are actually creating the first Nations Age-Friendly Festival as a gift to the community.
To think that we're the first community in Florida to become part of this movement is just amazing.
There have been many festivals here over the years, but never one like this one. The Patterson Foundation is sponsoring the Age-Friendly Festival to show the Suncoast residents the services, activities, and opportunities available for people of all ages. There'll be live entertainment.
We have the entertainment stage where we will have all ages performing.
There'll be performances by the West Coast Black Theater, the Sarasota Opera, the Circus Arts Conservatory, and more. And organizations will show off the services they provide for people of all ages. ITM Suncoast deals with transportation for seniors.
We provide rides for any reason, any time of the day or night, any day of the week, to anywhere within Sarasota and Manatee counties for folks 60 and older and adults with vision impairments.
And ITM is offering free rides to and from the festival for those same people. The festival will feature 7 different educational panels.
I think they've put together a great lineup of different panel discussions to talk about not just what exists, but what we can create in the future together.
There'll be exhibits and 125 different experiences.
Whether you would like to pet the llama, read to a greyhound, meet the vintage paws senior dogs who just need a little bit extra love and touch, or look at the 16-hand horses.
Wait, there's more.
The aerial yoga, but any age can do it. Shaving cream art with Ringling Museum will be there. We're going to have Tai Chi from the Taoist Tai Chi Society.
And the Patterson Foundation hopes the festival creates an excitement, a pride, and a commitment in the age-friendly movement that will continue long after this day is over.
As people experience this day, we want them to walk and go, I can be creating the future for me and my community. So it's continuing the age-friendly discussion in how we live, work, and play.
The tents are going up here at the Sarasota County Fairgrounds for our first ever age-friendly festival. It's on Saturday from 9 to 4. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Linda, thank you so much. Still to come in your Suncoast News, he once played Lieutenant Dan, and then he missed the Apollo 13 mission. How actor Gary Sinise is now promoting history for some students.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this.
Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 16th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival presented by Publix, Saturday, November 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Get the lowest prices of the year during the Ram Power Days event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Don't just settle for what's available at a smaller lot. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab at rock bottom pricing. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Did you know that Sarasota County was the first in Florida to be recognized as an age-friendly community? Whether you're 22 or 82, we strive to be the best place to live, work, and play. A community rich with opportunities and things to do for people of all ages. On Saturday, October 28th, we're advancing this movement with a free community event featuring live entertainment and hands-on experiences. You won't want to miss our entire community coming together for an age-friendly festival presented by the Patterson Foundation.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.
George Clooney is putting his money where his mouth is. The actor and activist donating $1 million to fight corruption and war crimes in Africa. That money is going to the Sentry, which is a group that Clooney co-founded to monitor and expose the financial networks behind African conflicts. In a statement, Clooney said, quote, "Our focus is to make sure that war crimes don't pay." Actors Renee Zellweger and Jon Voight are helping to raise $1 million on behalf of Atlanta's homeless community. The pair spoke at the Carry the Torch fundraiser event yesterday. That fundraiser luncheon supports Atlanta's homeless population. It coincided with the launch of Zellweger's new movie called Same Kind of Different as Me. The Gary Sinise Foundation is helping high school students learn about the greatest generation. The foundation is sending 21 veterans and 21 Los Angeles area students to the National World War II Museum in New Orleans. The Soaring Valor trip took off from LAX yesterday. Forrest Gump actor addressed the veterans and students before joining them on the flight.
I'm one blessed American that I get to spend so much quality time with the men and women who serve our country. These Soaring Valor trips are very, very special. This is our 6th Soaring Valor trip. With the Gary Sinise Foundation. It wouldn't be possible without the great support of American Airlines and Envoy, our great partners and friends who have done so much over the years to support our veterans.
Sinise so passionate about veterans' causes. The foundation says it's also sponsoring an additional historian at the museum to help collect as many stories from World War II vets as possible. Great idea. Actress Jessica Alba and her husband Cash Warren are expecting their first baby boy. Alba announced her pregnancy on Instagram in July and then revealed on the social platform yesterday that the baby is a boy. Alba and Warren already have 2 daughters named Honor and Haven. So congratulations to them.
Wish them well.
Yeah.
We are looking at some really pretty weather over the next several days. You know, again, we're going to be watching what happens on the weekend here and monitoring that over the next couple of days. We certainly are hoping that there's no issues whatsoever with the developing area of low pressure down to the south, and it's very unlikely that there would be other than rainfall. But, you know, this time of year, it's still worth keeping an eye on, and certainly things can change quickly in the tropics, so Bob will be in at 5 tonight. And of course, he'll update you on what's been going on down there in the afternoon, and tomorrow we'll take another look at it and let you know what's happening there as well.
Okay, John, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day ahead, and we invite you back at 5 o'clock for more news and weather. Hope to see you then.
The Alfa Romeo Stelvio takes the modern compact luxury crossover and injects it with personality.
Every crossover should be this good to drive.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.